Hi there, welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing really well today. I'm really excited to be bringing you episode 3, I think we're on now. Hopefully I'm right in that, of our garden transformation series. Oh my goodness, we've made so much progress this week and I'm so excited to show you it all. We've got some trees in, we are starting to think about borders, patios, we're moving things around. I feel like, do you know when you just feel like you've done something that's made a big difference to how the garden feels? I am so excited to get into today's video and to just keep bringing you all along on our little projects as we go along the way. But this was a really fun one to put together. It was so much work and it didn't make very much footage in the end, but we're going to be doing more gardening and I'd probably just incorporate little bits and bobs in vlogs over coming weeks, and then we'll do another big episode like this one in the future when we've got lots of big change. But it's feeling so nice to be able to get outside, get into the garden, and my hope in sharing these garden transformation videos is it makes you think about your own space. For any of you out there who have a garden, or you know, even if you've got like a little patio area or a balcony, how can you make that feel beautiful? How can you make it somewhere you want to be, where you want to spend your time? And I really think when we put time and energy into our homes and our spaces that we live in, it really reflects, and I think it gives back to us as well. That is my belief. Anyway, I'm getting a bit too philosophical here, a bit too deep I feel like for a Saturday morning, so we are going to crack on, get into this video. So I'll see you back in time when we started out with the next phase of our garden. To start off, I wanted to show you where I was going to plant our clematis. So it's going to go all along the fence. We've got so much fence to cover, so many different varieties of clematis as well. So the idea is that in time it will grow and it will just sort of grow over the fences, which will look so nice. We've got so many gorgeous varieties of clematis and jasmine as well to climb. It's going to look so nice, but we did have so many that we were getting a bit overwhelmed. I was like thinking there's so many different ones here, where are we going to put them? Dom was like looking at the colours and I was like, I think we're overthinking this, let's just plonk them down, hope for the best. We then used the umbrella to try and figure out where the trees might go, so we knew where to plant the clematis. Welcome to the greenhouse. I am going to plant a rose from our old house into a bucket, well, a plant pot. We got these from Home Bargains. I just broke my nail. Ow. Lovely. Anyway, as I was saying, we got these from Home Bargain. No, we didn't. We got them from Aldi, and they were only a £5. So I think I'm going to do the white one, and then it's a gorgeous climbing rose for the front of the house. So I'll plant this now, and that'll get that done. We've got lots of dahlias growing in here. We really need to put some shelving in, but that might be a late summer job because we've got lots of other projects on at the minute, and the greenhouse is going to be more of a winter affair. Rose Mageddon, as we call it. Dom's little project. So this is the one. Let's get this guy planted. Is it just me, or is planting just the most peaceful thing ever? I am so excited. It'll probably be next year now when the greenhouse is all up and running properly. We've got some potting benches in there. It's just going to be like a little safe haven, and I just think both me and Dom are going to spend so much time in there just enjoying the peace. I am so excited. This is really sad, but I'm so excited for when it rains and I can go in the greenhouse. There is nothing more relaxing than the sound of rain pattering on the roof as you just tinker away, planting beautiful plants, waiting for them to come into bloom. I was so happy with how this rose turned out, and I just think it's going to look really nice at the front of the house. We're going to put a bit of a trellis up and let it climb. So many people have done that around us and it just looks so beautiful, and I love a climbing rose. While I was out at the front, I thought I'd give it a sweep. It could probably do with a power wash really, because there are lots of weeds, as you can see. I'm going to just keep pouring boiling water over them and hope for the best, because honestly there is a lot of block paving. As nice as it looks, oh my gosh, it's so much to keep on top of. So yeah, just doing what I can. When the big weeds come through, I'll probably have to tackle it, but until then we will plod on. We then moved on to moving the swing. So with our realisation about where we wanted to put the climbers, we realised that we might want to make the patio area bigger in the future. So to make sure that we can do that, we thought we'd move the swing, which sounded like an easy job, but honestly it was so difficult. The ground is so uneven, and obviously we put the swing up for the space, so we got there in the end, but it took a lot of to-ing and fro-ing. Dom was laughing at me because I was just struggling to move it. He was enjoying his little swing, but we got there, and then we tried to figure out where to put all the different clematis. I am so excited to see these in like 3 or 4 years time, which I know sounds like a long time, but so many of you watched my old videos when we first moved into our old house, and can you believe that is coming up? I think it's 5 years this August. Isn't that insane? Like how long some of you have been with me to think that like that time again, this garden is going to look so different. And I think that's one of the funny things about gardening is you do so much, you can do so many jobs, and it doesn't really look that much different, but over time it makes a huge difference. And I am just so excited to see this garden in the end, and I feel like we're never going to be done with it. That's the one thing about gardening. There's always something to do, and this garden is so gorgeously big that I feel like there's always going to be another project for us to potter on with. But also this year for me is like getting it to a point where we can just chill, enjoy, put our feet up, and just enjoy time in the garden rather than feeling like we've always got to do something, because I feel like for weeks now we have just been on a treadmill with it, just working all hours, working through Charlie's naps, and it would just be so nice one day to just be able to chill, have a cuppa outside together and just enjoy it. Not to say we don't enjoy gardening, because we do. It's one of our favourite hobbies and we just love spending time together. Then we're on to the next day where we went to buy some trees. Come to a place today to find some trees for the garden, so fingers crossed we can find the trees that we want and have them delivered. But it's a beautiful garden centre. We came with Charlie the other day and it was obviously chaotic, so we've come back by ourselves today in hopes we can find what we want, and then we can get them planted in the garden and it will just feel like a big tick on a list. But yeah, there's so much to see here. It's so beautiful. There's a little bonsai section that we're just going through now, so I'll show you some bits and then we'll get our trees and hopefully get everything we need. So this is where the standard size trees are. So now we've just got to look through all of these. Hopefully they're in alphabetical order so we can see what we want to see and get what we want to get. They're obviously not going to be ginormous because it costs a fortune, and also they don't settle as well, but we also don't want them to be tiny either, so yeah, let's see. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. There are so many trees. Oh my goodness. And it's all obviously in Latin too, so, but it's nice to be able to choose them in person. That's that one.
That's good though, it's got a good size, don't you think?
Yeah. Nice and bushy.
Nice tree. I say you just plant him straight, don't you?
So we are really lucky, and my cousin is actually a horticulturist. Not just any horticulturist, I'll have you know. She's actually a bronze award winner at the Chelsea Flowers Show, which is just incredible. Like, I am so proud of her and just so grateful for all of her wealth of knowledge. I'm constantly bombarding her with questions about the garden, and so we've had so much insight and so much knowledge from her, which I'm very grateful for. I'm really happy that I'm able to pass on. So I will leave a list of the trees we picked down below in case any of you are wondering about it, but one of the best pieces of advice we got from her was to not go with evergreen trees because they can look like a stick with a ball on top, and instead go for ones that actually lose their leaves, which might seem counterproductive, but we're not trying to mask out the houses around us. It's literally impossible to do. There are so many houses around our house. When we bought the house, we knew that was the case. We were never going to be able to get rid of them. In a dream world, obviously, I'd live somewhere with fields around us, but the location we're in is just like, we wouldn't change it for the world. So we accept that there are houses around us and we're just making the most of it. But it would be nice to be able to, you know, take pictures in the future and have gorgeous bushy trees in the background. So that's kind of the vibe here. That's what we're working towards. We're working towards buying trees that have a really gorgeous canopy. They all kind of come together over the next few years and create a really beautiful canopy of leaves that gives us that little bit more coverage. And so the aim, like I say, is not really for privacy. It's more about making the garden feel more cozy. And once we got these trees in the garden, I was like, this garden is so insanely big. Like, it really doesn't come across that way on camera, and maybe to some of you, especially those of you who live in America, it's probably a tiny garden. But when you compare this to our postage stamp of a garden that we had before, it's like, it's insane. And these trees were huge and they just literally made no difference at all. So we'll give them a few years and hopefully they bush out and they just give it that feeling of coziness, which, to be honest, they already started to do. So I'm really excited to see these over the next few years. That they look good there. It's really hard to try and visualise, but I think it's giving nice coverage. And then obviously they'll grow, oh, cat's in the litter tray. They'll all grow taller and bushier in time, but it's just about giving it like that feeling of coziness as opposed to trying to block out all the houses, which is literally impossible. So yeah, I looked from all angles in the house and we decided that we were happy with the trees where they were, just masking out a few windows and just sort of spacing themselves out. Ideally we'd have probably put one behind the greenhouse, but we've got a water butt behind there now, so we're just going to leave it. We're probably going to grow some buddleia or just something that's a bit taller at the back. And then I was going to say we set about, it's all Dom. I did do a little bit though, you know, I'll take some credit. We planted the trees, which was a big job. So we had 5 trees all together. There was a lot of holes to be dug. They gave us some potting mix to put in with them and some, is it called mycorrhizal fungi? I don't know. I will leave any useful information that I've got about gardening and planting in my description box down below, just to give you guys a heads up if you're thinking of doing similar. But I would say if you have a new build or a garden with barely any trees, please look into getting a few trees, because honestly the wildlife needs it so much. It makes my heart hurt to see new build estates being built with hardly any trees, because honestly, where is the wildlife going to go when, you know, loads of trees are being cut down to build houses and then just not being replaced? So make your garden a sanctuary if you can and try and give back a little bit to the wildlife. Not only that, it looks beautiful as well. Like, there is nothing better than a beautiful green tree, and we've chosen some gorgeous varieties that I am very excited to see the blossoms on next spring and to see the leaves change colour in the autumn. That's one of the things that I love about trees and one of the things I miss about our old house. I feel like it had a really gorgeous combination, and over the seasons it kind of changed and grew. So yeah, like you say, we were doing this alongside Charlie this day. It's always interesting trying to juggle housework, you know, garden work, along with having a little one, but actually being outside makes it so much easier. He's just happy to play and potter while we cause chaos. So we decided to finally move his little shed, playhouse, and we thought we'd put it next to the swing, and he was just like buzzing that we were moving it around. He gets so excited at things like this, and unintentionally it matches really well with the slide that we got. So we're now thinking of making this into a room in itself. That's what they call it, like rooms in the garden. So obviously we've got like a greenhouse, and then this will probably be on an angle in line with this, like a sort of a semicircle, and then make this into like a little sun trap, because it is a little sun trap. What are you up to over there? I filmed this over a series of days over the weekend, so this was another day of planting. So we were getting on with it. It was a gorgeous sunny day, so me and Charlie were chilling in the pool and having a great time. Dom, bless him, was planting these trees, but we really wanted them in the ground so that they were all sorted. And I'm just really happy with how it's looking already. The trees look really healthy, really happy. Hopefully they stay that way. Dom planted them with lots of love, so good vibes only. Let's hope for the best. And yeah, we were debating back and forth if we were going to move the arch to under the pergola, but in the end we've changed our mind back again, because we were like, no, let's leave it how it is. It makes it so that there is sort of like a place to go in the garden, as opposed to it just being like A to B. which is one of the things that I've learned over time is how you make your garden feel more cottagey. This is never going to be a cottage garden, but my vibe and my aim, and Dom's aim too, is to make it a cottage style garden. So that's what we're aiming for here. Hopefully we can achieve it in time. Before I go out and show you all the changes we've made and just like a bit of a summary for this part of our garden transformation, I wanted to show you these beautiful peonies. One thing we do not have in this garden is peonies, and I really need to get some. And this is the first rose of the season. It is so beautiful. I will put in whatever the name is of this rose. I'm sorry I'm shaking, I just did a workout and you can clearly tell my arm is like, help me. Oh my goodness, it's so beautiful, but I will put the name of the rose because I often get asked what the different plants are and different roses are especially. We always bring the first one in and it's just an absolute beauty. I am going to swap over to my phone now because it's very windy outside and I've lost my little cover for my mic, and I think my phone is better with wind, so hopefully the audio doesn't change too much, but if it does, I apologise. But let's get to it. It's like the gloomiest day ever, and I think that makes a big difference in how the garden feels. But this is our patio area. As you can see, it's sort of a bit jumbly all over the place. The person before has extended it, and then to extend the rest, they've just done it with these little stones. So as you'll have known if you saw episode 1, we want to change all of this. We were originally thinking to keep it in line. We have since changed our mind. We're going to have Italian porcelain paving going all the way from here to my little makeshift border here that Charlie keeps messing with. So this is all going to be paving. Then we're up in the air about the next part, but I really need to take this off this armchair. It's the fire, I don't know, I don't even know what that is. Anyway, I think it can come off, so I'm going to take that off. But yeah, Catio is going to be thinking of having it come to here and then come out to where these pebbly bits finish and go back in, so that we can open these doors, the cats can go in the catio, they can be outside when we're outside, and then we've still got so much space, so we'll be able to get all the way around and round the back there, which will eventually not be so chaotic. This will be storage for the wheelbarrow, maybe some of Charlie's toys, just stuff like that. So that's the vision there. She's got lots of plant pots still. Over here, this border, we have ummed and ahed about this archway, whether to keep it in the middle, put it in the middle of the pergola to make a walk through, but we decided that this way you have to walk through the garden, whereas that was more A to B, which we didn't really like that flow. So this is going to be a border with lots of tall things like alliums and different height things. We've got a ceanothus there, an acer, that's a crawling acer, lots of clematis. So this is going to not have a border here, so that Charlie can get around here and there's just more space for him to play really. But this border will go all the way to here, be in line, and it'll go all the way down there, and that will separate the patio from the garden. Then, so if you're imagining the catio comes to here, this is going to be just a free play space for Charlie to play in, and then this here, I have a vision of some really beautiful patio furniture, so a sofa with a table and then 2 little armchairs to go here. It's really hard to see, I think, because this messes with my brain at least. I am thinking of painting the pergola the same colour as the shed. So many of you said to do it green, but we did a Photoshop version and it just didn't look right. So yeah, I'm not sure if it's been treated, so I'd rather paint it. And then, yeah, it'll be fine. And then if we do get a catio, we'll paint that as well, probably. So that's this little bit, that's the vision. If one day we want to get a home office, this could move over here, and then we could have some sort of summer house here, or it could go over there as well, depending on what we do with the catio. But that's just really far in the future plans that I'm not worrying about right now. The arch is gorgeous, and some of the roses is finally popped, so this is the one that we took inside. And then this one I think is an orange rose and a yellow rose, so they just look really beautiful with the green. The wisteria still needs training up here. I was going to do this, but honestly I've just run out of time this week, so I'm going to paint this another week, probably do a bit more of a transformation with the patio area. We've got this gorgeous allium that we got from B&Q, which I really want more of these next year. and then the final ones of the tulips. Gorgeous, gorgeous one, and Charlie's little windmill. We're not sure what this tree is, but this was already here before we arrived, so we'll see what that grows into. Then we've got these borders to sort out still. We need to put some more compost down and actually plant some plants, but at the minute it's like this because we needed the trees first basically, so we kind of ground to a halt. But Dom's got the jasmine training all the way up here, and it's going to look so beautiful. I'm so excited. Get some lights on here, it's just going to look really lovely. So like I said, I'll leave the names of the trees because they obviously don't make a massive difference right now, but they will hopefully in time. This can come out, so in winter this won't be here, but I literally use it like every day, if not every other day. This is Charlie's Rose, which is probably going to be planted around about here, but I need to do a border that's going like all the way down here at some point, maybe in our next garden video. This beautiful tree, this is like my favourite tree of them all. I think it's so pretty. Then Dom's Rose Mageddon, as I called it earlier in the video. So yeah, I think that is a hydrangea. So I'm not sure if Dom's put that there because that's where it's going to go, or if it's just there for now, I don't know. We've got some more clematis climbing up here, and the greenhouse, which we are so happy with. We've not got any tulips really left up here. Charlie beheaded a few, and they've just kind of they've done the time now, which is a shame because I love tulips. So we've got some mulch down at the back here now. The water, but I do regret. I think I regret not putting a tree behind here, but it's too late now. It'd be a big job moving this to put one behind, but we'll just see how it all comes together in the end. We do need to get a potting bench, but that's more of like I think like a winter thing. Then this bit of a garden is a new visual idea. We have this extra arch now that we got the other one, that one. So I put it here and I'm like, do you know what? I actually really like this as an idea, to have some taller plants here, make like a bit of a border here, and then have this as like a gorgeous brick, you know, like the beautiful brick laid patio. So that's a job for another time. One day this mountain of muck will not be here, but it's here for now, so we're just gonna accept it. I think this is going to look beautiful. There's like a little gorgeous courtyard, and it's like the sunniest spot in the entire garden. So we've got some jasmines to train up the fence here as well, but it's just like you sit here and it's just like the nicest spot. So yeah, really beautiful view of the garden. We can't believe how big it is and how much space we've actually got. So this is the only tree that we were like it's the only grafted tree we got. It's a bit of a funny shape. We will see how he does in time. And then yeah, we've got another rose here. Oh wait, is this Charlie's Rose? Oops, my bad. This is Charlie's Rose. So that one, I think that's going to be planted in this bit of border here. They're both beautiful pink roses though. There will be a bit of a border behind here. We're unsure whether we're keeping the swing yet, and maybe we'll replace it in time. I'm not really sure. Massive beautiful Annabelle hydrangea here. So that's going to be gorgeous, and I think that's going to go behind there. Got Charlie's little corner of fun over here. So yeah, we just really wanted somewhere for him to be able to play. The only reason that we bought this house with this garden, well, mainly the house was beautiful, but also the garden was just so much bigger than any gardens we'd seen and was available at the time. So yeah, it's got this massive swing set, this little house. We've got a massive greenhouse. We've got this massive egg chair, and it feels like massive still. It's crazy. This paintbrush from the other day. So yeah, that is kind of the idea behind the garden. I'll go back down to the bottom so you can see the drainage is fine now that we're in spring. So it was literally like a 3-month ordeal where it was bad and now it's fine again. So for now we're just going to leave it and see how it all goes, but I'm excited to get borders in, get some stepping stones in. I think it's just going to really come to life. All in good time though. So yeah, I think that was everything I wanted to show you out here, and probably going to go in the greenhouse. It's freezing today. Clearly need some sort of organisation in here, but like I say, we're just putting all of our resources, energy, money into the actual garden, because really once these are done, I'll probably be growing some tomatoes in here and that's about it for this year, but it'll be like winter when we start doing seeds and, you know, planting for next spring. So yeah, the dahlias are looking really, really good. I'm so pleased with them and I can't wait to see them bloom. I think they're going to be beautiful in summer. There's all sorts of different things. There's some cosmos down there. That is a lupin. I love lupins. One of my thoughts for out here is to do like, I don't know if any of you have seen them. I've seen them on Instagram quite a bit. People have different layered, like a table, so like a really beautiful metal table, and it's like 1, 2, 3, and then you put plant pots on and it makes like this gorgeous show of flowers. That is one of my ideas that I'd love, love, love to do. I did put this little bunting up. That's the only thing I've done in here. But there are so many different bits and bobs going on in here, and I feel like once we've got some borders and some colour in the garden, it's going to look so, so different again. But I think that concludes this video. I really hope you've enjoyed coming along, hearing my thoughts and our plans for the future, and I hope you stick around and see how it all turns out in the end, and stick around with me in the future and just see it all transform and unfold. It's just been so fun. Like, it wasn't something that we ever expected or anticipated, getting sort of like a new build garden, but it's been so fun trying to make it our own and work with the space we've got and actually have so much space. So our old garden was so different to this one, but it was already established pretty much. We did some changes, but there wasn't very much more we could do. So this is really fun, being able to like make zones in the garden and just still make it into a bit of both. It's a bit of a beautiful garden, hopefully a cottage style garden, while also being a functional child garden, because let's be honest, for the next however many years that we live in this house, if we live in it forever, it's going to be very much a kid's zone. So it's got to be multifunctional, but we are very, very happy with it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you get out in the garden today or get out in nature. It's so good for the soul. It's just literally like the best thing that you can do, the best way that you can spend your time. I never have ever regretted spending the day outside. Anyway, that's it from me today. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all again in my next video. Bye!